California Senator Kamala Harris is the first black woman in United States history to join a major party ticket and the third woman to serve as a VP candidate for a major political party. Joe Biden announcing the decision on Twitter, calling it a great honor to choose Harris, describing her as a fearless fighter for the little guy and one of the country's finest public servants. But throughout her political career, she has come under fire from progressives for her work as both San Francisco District Attorney and California Attorney General. Joining me now is the chair of the Progressive Caucus of the Democratic Party, Mr. Amr Shergill, to discuss. Thanks for being here.
Oh, good to be with you.
So there are a lot of firsts for Ms. Harris, which has many Democrats excited about her joining the presumptive Democratic candidate's ticket. But in a New York Times op-ed, University of San Francisco law professor and racial justice clinical program director Laura Belzalon claimed that Harris was not a progressive prosecutor as she describes herself. Meanwhile, President Trump claimed that she is part of the radical left. So where do you think that Harris stands?
Well, first of all, let's just forget what Trump has to say. It doesn't matter. We're going to elect Joe Biden, and now we're going to elect Kamala Harris to be vice president. But I think a lot of time has been spent looking at Kamala Harris's record, Senator Harris's record, as a prosecutor, and that's appropriate, particularly when she was looking for the highest position in the land, as she was going to be at the top of the ticket. But the role of vice president is different, and let's face it, the policy positions of a vice presidential candidate are not as important when we look at her history of prosecutions. What we're looking at now is what is Joe Biden, what is Kamala Harris going to do for the country? What are their policy positions now? And, if you talk to progressives, when they woke up this morning, the plan was to elect Joe Biden, to defeat Trump, to elect a woman of color as vice president, and then to engage in the most aggressive, the most progressive advocacy program the country has ever seen, to start immediately after a Democrat is in the White House, to get Green New Deal, to get Medicare for all, to stop the incarceration state. And that's still the plan right now, even though Kamala Harris is going to be on the vice presidential ballot.
So it sounds like you guys will be backing her in this run.
Well, look, we know that Donald Trump is a threat to the country, and progressives across the nation understand that. He's a threat. So our job is to defeat him, to elect Joe Biden, and then to engage in the advocacy program to get the things done. And that doesn't change whether it's Kamala Harris or somebody we were looking for like Karen Bass to be vice presidential nominee, or Barbara Lee, or anybody else.
And so you're saying that you guys are basically looking forward to the future and not nitpicking or cherry picking some of the criticisms of her past.
Look, we spent a lot of time when she was running for president on that history. But now's the time we got to be focused. We need to defeat Trump. We need to elect Joe Biden. We need to elect Kamala Harris. We need a Democrat in the White House that will put into place those agenda items that we really care about.
And reverting back to that article, Bezalon went on to write the progressives had urged Harris to embrace criminal justice reforms like overturning wrongful convictions, which she ended up upholding, and that Senator Harris championed state legislation that prosecuted parents of children who habitually missed elementary school, which would disproportionately affect low-income people of color. But here she is, of course, representing people of color. And Harris had defended herself, saying that some progressives think that prosecutors just shouldn't exist and that she will never satisfy them. So what do you say to that?
Look, I think that progressives are going to have mixed feelings about Kamala Harris on the ticket, but we understand she's not at the top of the ticket. And for somebody like me, who's a South Asian, we understand that there's energy within the South Asian community to see a South Asian on the ticket and be vice president. But while at the same time, I'm a Sikh, and we understand that as Attorney General, Kamala Harris, forced Sikhs to choose between their religion or their job, their faith, or a means to take care of their family. But right now, we have a threat to the nation that's in the White House, and we got to get rid of him. We need to elect the Democrats so we can engage on these issues that we really care about.
And analysts have pointed to her attack on Biden, demanding an apology during a debate against him, while now she is siding with him as his running mate. So is there something to be said about that, or is that just the nature of politics?
Look, that's politics. They were on the stage. They had real issues to fight over, and they put that behind them because, I'm going to keep saying it. We got to get Trump out of the White House. Progressives understand that. And, especially here in California, we can make a difference across the state. There's so many people here that can engage, whether it's fundraising or texting or phone banking. We got to get the job done.
Well, thank you so much to Amar Shergill for joining us and talking about this latest news.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
You're watching Chron on the Bay Area streaming news 24/7.